This form is the Family Law Petition FL-100. Petition for dissolution of marriage, legal separation, or nullity of marriage. We're going to start at the top left section. This is where you're going to write your name, address, and phone number. You may also include your email address. Down in the area where it says attorney for, you're going to make sure you enter in pro per. If you do have an attorney, you won't be filling out these forms on your own. So considering that you're going to be self-represented in filing these forms, you need to put in pro per. It's spelled IN space PRO space PER. Second section is where you're going to enter the court's information. Sometimes when you pick up the forms, they'll already be stamped with the information in there, but you're going to write Fresno after county of, and the address is 1130 O Street, Fresno, California, 93724-2201, and the branch name is the BF Sisk Courthouse. The next section is where you're going to enter the information in regards to your request. You're going to check the box indicating what you would like to do. Dissolution or divorce, legal separation, which means you will divide your assets and debts, but the marriage will not end, or nullity, which would annul your marriage, or domestic partnership. Then check the box to the right to state whether this is a divorce, legal separation, or nullity of marriage, domestic partnership, or both. In the next section, you're going to check the box that applies to you. Section 2, you're going to also check the box that applies to you. Now, in Section 2, you have to be filing in the county where you or your spouse resides if you're filing for divorce. And that means that you have to have lived in the county, or your spouse has to. You have to have lived in the state for 6 months and the county for at least 3 months immediately preceding the filing of the petition for divorce. In the next section, number 3, if you are a married couple, complete Section 3A. If you are domestic partners, complete Section 3B. The next section is regarding minor children. If you have no minor children with this person, check box A. If you have minor children, check box B and list their names, birth dates, ages, and if they're female or male. If you need more space, check the box that says continued on attachment 4B and use another piece of paper and just write attachment 4B at the top. If you or the other party is pregnant and the child is of this relationship and has not been born, you need to check box 4B2. You also need to check box 4D if you and the other parent have a signed declaration of paternity, and attach a copy of it if you have one. On the second page of the petition, you're going to be question number 5, the legal grounds. Check box 5A if you're requesting a divorce or legal separation. Check box 1 if your request is because you or the respondent no longer wishes to be married, or 2, because one party can no longer make legal decisions. Check box B or C if you are requesting a nullity, and check the box that indicates the grounds for the nullity. In the next section, you have number 6, child custody and visitation. Here you're going to check all boxes indicating what you want the court to decide, but only one box for each line. You being the petitioner and the other party being the respondent, and joint would mean that you would both share. Or you can select other if certain circumstances apply. For C, you can check either box if you want the other party to visit, or check both boxes if both parents are going to share the same amount of time with the child. You may check any of the boxes and attach any additional of the forms listed and write attachment C1 at the top and write out the visitation schedule. Check box D if you and the other party had children together before your marriage or domestic partnership. The next section, number 7, is regarding child support. If you and the other party have children born or adopted by both of you, the court can make child support orders. Make sure you read this section. Next section, number 8, is regarding spousal support. If you plan on requesting spousal support or domestic partner support, check box A and petitioner or respondent to show who would receive the support. If you never want to receive or pay support and your marriage or partnership was less than 10 total years, you're going to check box B and put petitioner or respondent. If you think that you may want to bring up the issue later, you can check the box next to reserve the issue and then check petitioner or respondent accordingly. The next section is going to be regarding separate property. And separate property you acquired before the marriage, after your separation, or by gift or inheritance are the things that you would list here. Check A if there's no separate property. Check B if there is separate property and you want to attach a property declaration. Or you can even attach just another sheet of paper and put on there attachment 9B. Or it does give you space if there are a few items that you want to list. You can just list it after checking the box that says the following list. The next section is going to be number 10 regarding community property. This is going to be where you are going to list or attach another property declaration outlining all of the assets, debts, and property that was acquired during the marriage. If you or the other party do not have any assets or debts for the court to divide, check box A. If you or the other party have assets or debts and you want the court to make a decision over those, check box B and then one of the following boxes. You're going to check either the box indicating that you plan on filing a community property declaration, FL-160, listing all the property, or again, you can check the box that says attachment 10B and then just attach another sheet of paper with the items listed. You can also check the other box that says as follows and list if you only have one or two items that you want to have the court make determination over. The next section is number 11, other requests. Check A if you have attorney's fees and check the box petitioner or respondent indicating who you want to pay those fees. Obviously, if you're filling these forms out yourself, you probably don't have attorney's fees associated with the divorce. But kind of like the spousal support, if it comes to the point where you do have to retain an attorney and you wish the other party to have to pay for the attorney's fees, you'll want to indicate so here. Check box B if you want to have your maiden name restored or former name. It doesn't have to necessarily be your maiden name. If maybe this is your second divorce and your children have your first spouse's name, you can always go back to any previous name here. Check box C if you have any other requests and write your request. Make sure you read number 12 because you are, again, acknowledging that you understand that the restraining orders on the back of the summons apply to you when the petition is filed. And then make sure you date, print, and sign your form. and then read the 2 additional notices at the bottom. Now going back to page 2 and page 3, at the very top box, make sure you again put the petitioner's name, which would be your name, respondent's name, which would be the other party's name, and again, make sure you use the same name that you used on the summons, which is going to be the first and last and possibly a middle initial or full middle name. Thank you.